So welcome everybody. It is that time of the week. It's our 9th health hack this week. So I'm really excited for you guys because this week what we're going to be talking about is chiropractic pediatric care. That's right, the little kiddos, the little cutie bugs like my 10-month-old little Cordie, like maybe your 2-year-old niece, your 3-year-old nephew, maybe that 8-year-old little guy you got running around, or little girl. I don't want to be sexist, right? At any rate, when we talk about pediatric chiropractic care, I mean, we all start where we are, but imagine if our kids, well, imagine if we could have started 20, 30, 40, 60 years ago. So many of you that come into my office, you're on 5 medications, you're sick and suffering, you've had multiple surgeries, you've got digestive issues going on, and what we want to do is pass on something new to our kids. We want to leave a legacy. We want to leave a legacy of love and a legacy of health. The most safest and effective thing you can do for your children is get their nervous system tapped in, tuned in, and turned on, okay? And what that is that brain to spinal cord connection. That's where life comes from. It comes from the brain, it goes down the spine, and it goes out over the nerves to every cell, tissue, and organ. So the kids we see that come in the office, and we have babies that come in the office, we have kids that are 1 month old, 2 weeks old, 1 second old. I mean, little Cordie was adjusted since birth. The moment that he came out into the world, probably about maybe 5, 10 seconds, 15 seconds after, all I did was I took my index finger and I put it on this part, right under his ear. This is called the atlas bone or brainstem bone. And I just did the pressure of probably like a penny is what it takes. And he just kind of eased his head that way because he just kind of innately knew that the bone was supposed to be in alignment, that it wasn't supposed to be crushing that brainstem. And even if a baby's born at home, there's a lot of pressure, right, in childbirth. And of course, I don't know for obvious reasons, but you women out there know, and you're like, yes, there was tons of pressure. You know, I suffered so that you could have this beautiful son or this beautiful daughter. And so that being said, that's going to create subluxations or misalignments in the spine, nerve interference. Birth, we know, is the first part of the subluxation process. And we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. So obviously the way that we're going to provide care for an adult is totally different than a child. But a child's got a nervous system too. And imagine if we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years without brushing our teeth. Some of you and many of us are doing that to our spines. Let's catch it early, guys. Let's don't wait till all that degeneration of forward head posture takes effect. I mean, I get mothers in here and they're like, Doc, since my little girl's been adjusted, she doesn't have ear infections anymore. She doesn't have seizures anymore. For her ADHD, she's focusing now. And that intelligence in her body, we call it innate intelligence or inborn intelligence, starts getting that brain and hard wiring of that master computer up there working the way it was designed to work. And when that happens, we don't get kids expressing health as much or having ear infections or being sick. They just naturally start functioning at a higher level, at a higher neurological level. Well, what about autism, Doc? What about Down syndrome? What about all these congenital conditions? Well, here's what I know each and every time. Pressure off a nerve is always better than pressure on a nerve. So whether it's a congenital condition, have I seen miracles? Absolutely. Even if we just increase the comfort of that child's life, then we've done a huge service to that child, that family, and humanity as a whole. And that's my goal. So the reason we're talking about this today is because recently I've had parents coming in and they're concerned about their child's welfare. And it's really just a lack of knowledge. And guys, I get it. There's a lot of fear being propagated by the medical community. I call it false evidence appearing real, where they're telling mothers to get flu shots and all sorts of stuff. And then, you know, but then telling them not to eat a can of tuna and there's tons of mercury in the tuna, but then they're injecting it into their bloodstream. I never understand that one, right? Let's get the nervous system balanced and then we don't need those crazy shots, right? And if we're going to eat tuna, let's eat it wild, right? But we shouldn't have to worry about that mercury anyways. Let's get that first bone reconnected, because that runs your immune system, your heart system, your lung system, your endocrine system, every system you have in your body. So I just want to talk about an organization for a minute. It's called the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association, ICPA. They're an amazing association that really just governs what we do and kind of the baselines for the chiropractic or holistic chiropractic community, okay? And they do a lot of education, they do a lot of teaching, okay? My wife and I have attended tons of seminars, okay, to learn different techniques on how to take care of kids and how to specialize in taking care of kids. And this amazing organization has stats and research on their website and all sorts of stuff. They also have an amazing magazine called Pathways. Okay, this is a great magazine and we have it in the office, and I really encourage you, pick up that magazine and you're going to be blessed by it. Your family members are going to be blessed by it. Your kids are going to be blessed by it because it's got great holistic articles that you can really inform yourself with to really change your life and change your child's life and to really, you know, just advance your parenting. Because we never got a book on parenting, right? I'm definitely discovering that after 10 months. But if we can just get little nuggets of information, knowledge, we can make different and better decisions about our health. So I talked about the sustained contact related to kids. I talked about how we don't work on kids the same way that we would work on an adult. I mean, we're going to check for chemical and emotional stresses, but let's talk numbers. Let's talk numbers for a minute. A couple of weeks ago, I talked about the effectiveness of chiropractic care, and we talked about malpractice insurance. Holistic chiropractors, their malpractice starts at $1,400 a year, whereas medical doctors, they start at $200,000. So how many people, how many adults have been injured related to chiropractic care? And I'm talking about strokes. I'm talking about the Katie May stuff that was in the news probably about a year ago or something like that, right? They tried to blame that on chiropractic, but if you look at the research of Dr. Dan Murphy and the California Chiropractic Association and the International Chiropractic Association, the ICA, that research unequivocally said that it was totally not connected to chiropractic. Why am I bringing that up? Because there's a 1 in 2 million chance that an adult could get injured through chiropractic care. 1 in 2 million. So when we talk about pediatric chiropractic, let's first talk about what the adults are dealing with, right? What are the stats related to pediatric chiropractic? Well, I pulled 3 research articles. There's more out there. I only pulled 3, okay? And I'm going to quote from one, okay? Listen to this. I got to find it. I highlighted them and then I still can't find it, right? That's the way that works. My staff knows that too. They're like, well, we told you were supposed to take films of this person today. I'm like, I never saw it. They're like, it was in purple. And I'm like, sorry guys. Okay. So one adverse event, okay? One mild adverse event in approximately 1,300 chiropractic treatments. Okay, so what's an adverse event? I want to know what an adverse event is, Doc. Let me find it here. Adverse event is any child with mild symptoms or soreness or irritability, okay, within a 24-hour period. So one adverse event out of 1,300 kids, right? And the adverse event is just soreness and irritability, basically, right? Some of our kids are irritable whether they get adjusted or not, right? But what's it doing for our child long term? Well, all the research shows that it prevents them from getting ear infections. All the research shows that it makes them less likely to get seizures. All the research shows that it makes them less inclined to be sick, to have colds, to get the flu. What's it doing? It's stimulating those afferent and efferent pathways, which is just a fancy way of saying stimulating the brain and spinal cord and releasing that intelligence, that life flow, to keep your immune system working at 100%. So when we talk chiropractic and we talk safety, right, this is only one stat. I only give you a couple of stats, right? I'm not here to bore you with research. We know that it's totally safe and effective. How many people died of medical care last year alone? Well, for properly prescribed medications, it was 130,000. So guys, let's ask more questions. Let's go to PubMed. Let's go on Google Scholar, pull the research on this stuff and look at it, okay? The way I'm going to work with a 220-pound man that's 6'3" is going to be totally different than a little baby, right? Totally different. The baby sits there and smiles at me and I make funny faces at it and I take my middle finger and my index finger and I go like this. The pressure of a penny, okay? Not a big deal. But the implications of that small event, that small adjustment on the life flow and the future of that child are huge and drastic. So let's start now, guys. Okay, we have a choice now. You and I didn't have a choice. I didn't grow up with parents that were living the holistic lifestyle, that were talking and asking questions. You have that opportunity to pass that on to your kids. Okay? Share this video, like it, at Health From Within CA. Go to our website, www.healthfromwithinca.com. You can check on the media section under advanced healthcare classes or health hacks. And it's always numerical. If you miss it on Monday at 3, you can access it through Facebook or our website. God bless you. We love you. We want to serve you. That's all we want to do for this community and to help change this world, okay? Have a great weekend. Thanks a lot.